Licorice root, the peacekeeping herb. Benefits, uses, and growing tips. Licorice root has earned its reputation as a peacekeeping herb, thanks to its sweet flavor, soothing nature, and ability to harmonize herbal formulas. Imagine sipping a warm, naturally sweet tea that not only coats your throat in comfort, but also supports your digestion, respiratory system, and even your stressed out adrenals. That lingering sweetness comes from the roots of Glycyrrhiza glabra, a plant used for thousands of years in traditional medicine systems from Europe to China as a balancing herb that softens harsh flavors while adding moistening nourishment to many blends. Health benefits and energetics of licorice root. Licorice root's signature sweetness comes from glycyrrhizin, a compound many times sweeter than sugar that also contributes antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial actions. Herbalists often reach for licorice when there is dryness, irritation, or inflammation in the throat, lungs, or digestive tract because this demulcent root forms a soothing, protective coating over hot, scratchy tissues. For digestion, licorice is commonly used to ease acid reflux, heartburn, and indigestion, and modern research suggests that licorice extracts may help people with gastroesophageal reflux disease feel more comfortable over time. It can also support healing of peptic ulcers by increasing protective mucus in the stomach and helping keep inflammatory processes in check. And some studies have explored licorice alongside conventional therapies targeting H. pylori, the bacterium often implicated in ulcers. In the respiratory system, licorice is a classic ally for dry, irritating coughs and inflamed mucous membranes. Its moistening, slightly expectorant nature helps loosen stuck mucus while easing the raw, painful sensation in the throat and upper chest, which is why it appears so often in traditional cough syrups and throat teas. Licorice root also plays a role in stress support and nervous system balance as a gentle, adaptogenic ally. By influencing cortisol metabolism, licorice may help the body better cope with stress, and in Chinese and Ayurvedic formulas it is often paired with restorative herbs like ashwagandha or shatavari to support energy, resilience, and recovery from depletion. Another fascinating area is skin and oral health, where licorice extracts are being studied for reducing canker sore pain and size, supporting healthier oral flora, and calming inflammatory skin conditions such as eczema. Topical gels and creams containing licorice have shown promise for reducing redness and irritation, while mouth rinses and lozenges may help with mouth ulcers, gum irritation, and even bad breath. How to use licorice root internally. In a home apothecary, licorice root is wonderfully versatile and easy to work with. It can be used as cut and sifted dried root, powder, tincture, capsules, or blended into teas and syrups, making it simple to adapt to different needs and preferences. One of the most accessible preparations is a simple tea or decoction. Simmer a small amount of dried licorice root gently in water for about 10 to 15 minutes to draw out its sweetness and soothing properties. Then sip it on its own or paired with herbs like marshmallow root, ginger, or peppermint for extra support for digestion and the throat. For deeper therapeutic use, standardized extracts or tinctures are often chosen because they allow more precise and consistent dosing. These forms are commonly included in protocols for reflux, ulcers, or respiratory support, and many practitioners will specifically recommend deglycyrrhizinated licorice, or DGL, which has most of the glycyrrhizin removed to reduce the risk of certain side effects, while still providing strong digestive support. DGL is especially popular in chewable tablets or powders designed for heartburn and indigestion. It is often taken before meals or when symptoms appear, and traditional formulas may combine licorice with other demulcent, anti-inflammatory, or adaptogenic herbs, using smaller amounts of licorice to harmonize the blend and enhance flavor, which explains the subtle sweetness you notice even in otherwise bitter herbal formulas. Topical and external uses of licorice root. Licorice root is not just an internal remedy, it shines in topical and external preparations as well. Creams and gels that contain licorice extract have been explored for skin conditions such as eczema, where they may help calm redness, itching, and inflammation when used regularly over days or weeks. In homemade skincare, powdered licorice can be mixed into bases like aloe gel, yogurt, honey, or hydrosols to create soothing and brightening masks or spot treatments. Because licorice has mild skin lightening and anti-inflammatory properties, some people use it to support more even tone in areas prone to hyperpigmentation or post-inflammatory marks, while also benefiting from its calming effect on irritated or sensitive skin. Licorice also fits beautifully into oral care routines. Herbal tooth powders or mouth rinses may include a small amount of licorice alongside herbs like cardamom and ginger, not only for its natural sweetness, but also for its potential to discourage harmful bacteria and soothe irritated tissues in the mouth, supporting gum health and fresher breath. Safety, side effects, and who should avoid licorice root. Despite its gentle taste, licorice is a powerful herb that demands respect. The same glycyrrhizin that delivers many of its benefits can also cause problems at high doses or with long-term use, especially when taken every day for weeks or months without breaks. Glycyrrhizin can lead to fluid retention, loss of potassium, and elevated blood pressure in some people, which is why health authorities advise keeping daily intake moderate and avoiding heavy, prolonged use. Pregnant individuals are usually advised to avoid medicinal doses of licorice root due to concerns about hormone and cortisol-related effects, and because of its complexity, long-term daily use of high-glycyrrhizin products is generally discouraged unless there is clear therapeutic need and close monitoring. For many people, short-term, moderate use, such as occasional cups of tea or brief courses of DGL for digestive support, can be a more balanced way to enjoy the herb. Approaching licorice with respect, awareness, and clear boundaries helps unlock its benefits while minimizing the likelihood of unwanted side effects. How to grow licorice root at home. Growing licorice root connects you directly with this ancient medicine and lets you harvest your own sweet roots after a few patient seasons. Licorice is a perennial legume that thrives in full sun and deep, loose, well-drained soil and can grow several feet tall, displaying feathery foliage and small pale flowers when mature. If you are starting from seed, expect a slow and steady process. Licorice benefits from a warm, bright environment and often takes a couple of weeks or more to germinate. Many gardeners prefer to start with young plants or root divisions, planting them where they have space to spread and where the soil is rich in organic matter but not waterlogged, since heavy, compacted conditions can stunt or damage the roots. Licorice roots take time to develop into the thick, medicinal rhizomes that herbalists prize, typically 2 to 3 years after planting. During this period, regular watering, mulching to conserve moisture and suppress weeds, and occasional feeding with compost or a gentle organic fertilizer will help build a strong root system, while the plant's nitrogen-fixing nature quietly improves soil health as it grows. Harvesting and processing your own licorice root. Once your licorice plants are well established, usually after a couple of growing seasons, you can begin harvesting in autumn when the aerial parts start to die back and the plant's energy has returned to the roots. Carefully dig around the plant, loosen the soil, and lift out some of the thick, fleshy roots, taking care to leave part of the crown and rhizomes intact so the plant can continue to grow in future years. After harvesting, Wash the roots thoroughly to remove any soil, and then slice them into smaller pieces or chips to speed up drying. Spread the pieces in a warm, well-ventilated space out of direct sunlight, or use a dehydrator on a low setting until they become hard and woody. Once fully dry, store them in airtight jars away from heat and light, ready for use in teas, decoctions, powders, and other preparations throughout the year. Bringing licorice root into everyday herbal practice. For anyone who tends toward dryness, irritation, and stress, licorice root can become a cherished staple in a home herbal collection. A simple evening tea blend that includes a small amount of licorice alongside other demulcent and calming herbs can become a comforting ritual that nourishes both body and spirit. Because of its potency and complex safety profile, especially regarding blood pressure and long-term use, it is important to work with licorice intentionally rather than casually. Used in moderate amounts and carefully designed formulas, this peacekeeping herb can harmonize blends, soothe inflamed tissues, and gently lift energy and resilience, making it a valuable bridge between traditional wisdom and modern herbal practice. Thanks so much for spending this time together today. If you found this video helpful, let me know your thoughts or questions down in the comments so more herbal conversations can grow from here. If you haven't already, hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss future videos, and please share this with a friend who loves herbs and natural healing as much as you do.